What is going on, you guys? Is the Cubone here? Um, Giving you a bit of just like a transparency to why I haven't been making videos as of recent. Um, I work in retail, and it's the month of November, and we have Black Friday sales all month long, and it's only going to get even more hectic afterwards. But I do also want to talk a bit about the Jacksonville Jaguars. I do have some opinions I do want to at least get out. I don't have the time, and the apartment is a bit of a mess right now, so I can't do a proper video, with Trico and the likes. But uh, yeah, here we are. We're in the bye week. We're 2-9. The Jacksonville Jaguars somehow are in position to have the first overall pick once again in the third time in 5 years. And when we first got that position of being, if the season were to end, we have the first pick. The first time we were in that position, I think that was 2 weeks ago when we lost to Minnesota. We lose to Minnesota. We go to 2-8, I think, at the time, and I had to look this up because I was just curious. Has this ever happened before? Has an NFL team have the first overall pick 3 out of 5 years? And the answer to that is no. So this is a historically bad run in Jacksonville, not just as a Jaguars, team record, just like as an NFL team, just a historically bad run. And it really makes you wonder, what is the point of keeping Doug Peterson around? What is the point of keeping Trent Baalke around at this point? You suffered the worst loss in franchise history, and you don't want to get rid of your coach and GM? I know I'm pretty sure I said this earlier in one of my other videos, but I'm pretty sure I said if they weren't going to fire Doug and Trent beforehand, then there's at this point, they won't fire them until the end of the season. So I guess I shouldn't be too surprised about that. But even still, at some point in time, things need to change in Jacksonville. And, there's 6 more weeks until the regular season. They're going to go by so fast with, Thanksgiving coming up and then Christmas following that and a bunch of other stuff happening in the month of December. For me personally, going on in my life, it'll go by a lot faster than uh, oh man, 6 weeks, it's going to take forever. It won't take forever. And also, what's interesting to me is that in this 6-week stretch, they will play against the Houston Texans, the only team with a winning record as of right now in this stretch. But they'll play the Houston Texans, then the Titans, then they're at home for the Jets, on the road to the Raiders, at home against Tennessee, and then they finish their season at Indianapolis. So I believe that's how the schedule finishes out for the Jaguars. And, I want Jacksonville to kind of bottom out in a sense, just so I can guarantee that Doug Peterson and Trent Baalke are both gone in Jacksonville. But at the same time, I look at that 6-game stretch and I say there might be a game or two I can see Jacksonville winning. The Raiders are a 2 or 3 win football team. The Jets are a 3-win football team. The Titans just beat the Texans, so they're now a 3-win football team. The Colts have been inconsistent. The Texans have, even though they're 7-4 or 8-4, whatever their record actually is right now, they haven't looked the greatest at times, and they've struggled a lot this season. It almost feels like that record is kind of like how the Jaguars were last year. They were 8-3, yeah, but it was they kind of almost lost it to Houston at one point. They almost kind of lost to Pittsburgh, almost lost to the Saints. It's kind of like a phony winning record. That it almost kind of feels like that's the case with the Texans, but I still feel though that Texans are going to win this division. I just don't have faith in the Colts at this point, or any of the other teams in the AFC South to actually go on some like historic run to actually get to the AFC South championship title, if you will. But it'll be interesting to see how the Jaguars fare up against these last few games. And do I think they're going to win? Probably not. They might get one game in this stretch if they're lucky. But without Trevor Lawrence, who I think needs to shut down for the year, without guys like Christian Kirk and Gabe Davis at wide receiver, not like Gabe Davis did a whole lot, but like losing Gabe Davis is still impactful for this offense because I don't think this wide receiver group has enough depth. Their running back position's been banged up all season long. The secondary is not good. We don't have any depth at edge rusher. It's not it is not a recipe for success in Jacksonville from a roster standpoint, which is why I think Doug Peterson and Trent Baalke both need to go. I'll make a video about that later on, going into more detail on why, but I'm rambled enough as is. I hope you guys are going to have a happy Thanksgiving coming up. I hope you guys have a good holiday the rest of the season. I will be trying to make more content as the season goes on. I'm not like burnt out. I'm just exhausted from all the work that my job has been putting me through. So hopefully you're understanding. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Go Jags.